Well, you guys may be asking yourselves, why is Kevin sitting on a tractor for an e-scooter video? Well, stick around and you're going to find out. A couple of days ago, Kristi and I came home from somewhere, I don't remember where, and we discovered that two of our trees, one in the front yard and one in the backyard, were dead. We don't really have any idea when they died or how quickly it took for them to die, but we realized it, so we knew we had to take care of it. So what did we do? We called a buddy that owned a tractor and some chainsaws. They're hidden underneath the e-scooter right there. Well, that's what we did over the weekend. We took those trees down, we cut them up, and then we returned them to the woods where they belong. Now don't get too excited. You're not going to get to see much of that footage because we didn't take much. We were too busy working and sweating. Well, anyway, I figured since I've got to return the tractor to my buddy, it would be the perfect opportunity for us to ride the e-scooter on the way back and have a little conversation. I'm going to give you guys some pros and cons of the e-scooter on the way back home. Let's just hope that it doesn't fall out of the bucket on this 1 mile journey. So here's the stump for the first tree. It was a double tree, so we had to really take that one out because both trees were leaning towards the house. Well, here's the stump to the tree that was in the backyard. Don't pay any attention to that stuff. We'll take care of that later. But look how close it was to the RV, to the carport. Perfect. He just placed my wood. Yeah, that could have been ugly. Well, these two trees that we took out ended up being taken care of and put into two piles. There's one pile. And here's the second pile. Let me tell you what, Kristi had a lot of fun on that tractor. She wouldn't even give me a chance to drive it. I get to drive it today though because I'm the one taking it back to my buddy. We've got a few other trees that need to be taken out because they're leaning towards the house too. But we may need to call in the professionals for these. These are intimidating. Well, anyway, since we got the e-scooter all loaded up, let's get the show on the road. Well guys, the return of the tractor went very well, and now it's time to showcase this. You remember this? I'll put the video link down in the description for you guys to click on it if you want to see it. But we reviewed this thing a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago. I'm telling you what, it has really proven itself to be a trustworthy piece of equipment. And I really do think that we're going to be implementing this in a lot more of our future videos as well, because we can take this thing a lot of different places. This again is the Hovsco Porto E Scooter. And it's rated for 19 miles an hour, top speed. Here's the screen. I've put like 21 miles or so on. Yeah, I put right at 21 miles on it or so. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. The whole goal for this video is to let you guys know that there's more than just one use for this scooter. It's more than just for fun. This is actually utilitarian also. I just returned a vehicle. I needed a ride home. That's what I'm doing here, is I'm using this to give me a ride home. And while I'm riding it home, I wanted to give you guys some pros and cons about this scooter. And I'm telling you what, the cons, that list isn't very long. So let's get started. I think I want to turn around and go the other way. I've realized that this scooter can really get up and go, especially if you have a tailwind. Right now, I can't seem to get it above 15 or 16 miles an hour because I'm kind of in a headwind here. But it's still doing okay. So what are the pros? A lot of the pros to me have to do with how easy it is to ride, how far you can go on one charge. That's a good one. Even if you've never ridden an e-scooter before, this is something that anybody can just jump on and go. The wind is blowing my hat off. Well, going down this road, I'm in a headwind, so I can't really get above 15 or 16 miles an hour. But when I get turned around and I go on the other way to the house, guess what? I've got the tailwind. I want to see if we can get this thing up to 19 miles an hour like it's supposed to. I got it up to 17 miles an hour right now, and there's still a headwind. So it's definitely got plenty of power. Another positive that I have is the battery itself. I haven't ridden it for the past few days and the battery still seems like it's at 100%. I've only charged the battery twice, and right now I've got 22 miles on it. We're gonna go up to this next street up here and take a right, and then we're gonna start heading to the house. Maybe when we start heading to the house, I'll give you guys a couple of negatives. Well, I had to turn my hat around backwards because the wind was blowing it off my head. What else can we talk about? Another pro about this scooter is that the company's based in the USA. Well, this thing's definitely a lot of fun to ride. Unfortunately, when this second video is over, I'm gonna lose this thing because Kristi's already taken possession of it. I got the camera back on my chest so I could show you guys how the brakes are. So I'm at 16 miles an hour right now. I'm gonna hit the brakes and we're gonna stop. Look at this. That's how quick these brakes stop this thing. Well, even though the brakes are one of my positives, they're also gonna be one of my negatives because I've noticed that whenever you're pushing the scooter around in the house or outside, whenever you're just pushing it around, the brakes seem to drag a little bit. And I don't know if they're causing friction to the point where they can really cause any type of battery loss. But I'm telling you what, it's kind of annoying to hear that thing going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I think I had the battery down to about 50% the other day when I charged it. And I charged it on a power station. And this thing charged up fast. It's supposed to take like 6 hours to charge the battery whenever you're, I guess, really low. But it only took about an hour and a half and it was fully charged. I'm definitely taking the long way home today, that's for sure. I think I'm on the wrong street. Now that I've got the tailwind instead of the headwind, I've got it up to 17 and it's a 17 steady. I've never come down this way on a scooter. Got people flying up behind me though, I know that. I want to get away from that ditch because that's a pretty deep ditch. We'll let this car pass and I'll get back to where it's legal. You look at that ditch right there and you tell me whether you wanted to be on that side or the left side. I think I'll take the left side. Oh, look at that. I'm up to 18 miles an hour right now. Can you guys even see that? Got it in high mode, 18 miles an hour with that tailwind. Maybe I really am losing some weight. I think eventually we're going to want to graduate to a bigger e-bike or to an actual e-bike instead of the e-scooter. But Hovsco, if you're listening, we're the Roberts. With the tailwind, I can put my hat the right way. I don't know who that was, but they blew their horn at me. Or maybe they're waving at them. With all that work that we did in the yard this weekend, this is definitely a nice payback. This is an easy way to relax. So my only other complaint about this e-bike is the fact that it doesn't do very well on inclines. Now you guys take that with a grain of salt because we're in Florida and we don't have a lot of inclines, so I can't really speak on that. I do know though that the small inclines that we have, it kind of struggles. And it may just be because I'm bigger. Kristi probably wouldn't have the same struggles that I do, right? So what is that? We've got 2 negatives on our list. I think that's a pretty good ratio. I tell you what, I really do enjoy this scooter and I'm really glad that they reached out to us to review this. I think I've been on this thing for about 4 miles. I was just expecting, well, now 5 miles. I was just expecting a 1 mile ride. Well, that incline was okay. The decline was even better. Well guys, let me leave you with this. All I can say is what I've experienced with this Hovsco scooter has been nothing but positive. Yeah, I had two things on my list that were on my list that were negative, but you know what? The positives totally outweigh the negatives. I hope that you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. God bless. Vroom, vroom.